Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mind of Michael. Smallest spark. What's up, man? How you
What's
doing?
up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing it. So
You
I'm
doing it?
sure that
Good.
most of you are like, who is this random guy with old Sparky here? I am his cousin, his first cousin. Uh, just kind of been around in the background, answering questions about the internet. He was pretty new to all this. You can tell him. You can do
Yeah,
that.
basically, he showed me the ropes to everything behind like what social media is. Like from everything from a niche to everything to like editing software, everything from different quadrants of social media. This is basically the person that helped mold me into who I am today.
We have been together for a very long time.
Oh, long time. Good God.
Yeah, as y'all would probably expect, we're first cousins, so we've been together since like as long as I can remember, and I can only
For as
remember
long
back
as
to
his
like
life.
4. So yeah, he's
For as
he's
long as
the
his
older
life.
one. He's the older one. Um, but yeah, just a quick rundown for everybody who's probably wondering. I work in computers. Been addicted to computers my whole life. Games, YouTube. Been around 14 years ago. Ryan Higa starts up How to Be a Ninja. It blows up. We've been sticking to the YouTube thing for a long time. I'm not particularly a content creator or anything like that. I was just really here to be a voice, like an outside perspective on things that he could trust. I'm not a manager or anything like that. I'm just here to help. And so yeah, I mean, you wanna tell him what we're kind of doing, or you know?
So today we're going to be doing a rundown of an interview of like frequently asked questions that may have you had and get to a deep part of my life that I haven't really opened up on camera. So basically,
Yeah, I
that's what we're
think
going to
I
be
think
getting
that's what
into.
we're kind of doing because you've done in the past like Q&As for say Reddit,
Right.
or
Right.
ones with Garrett, the big nasty, as he's known.
Yeah.
You've done some. Have you done one with Emily?
Mm, yeah, one Q&A with Emily. That was
Okay.
it. And that was just like throw up a post on TikTok, see how many people can ask questions, and then
Yeah.
we went with that.
Was that a TikTok live? I I can't
No, it
remember if
was
that was
a
a YouTube
YouTube
video.
video.
It was a YouTube video, wasn't it?
Hmm.
Was that in the
Yeah.
car?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Professional as it gets,
Yeah,
brother.
professional as it gets. That's the backdrop, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some questions put together here that I think, from watching his videos for the past, what, 3.5, 4 or 5 years now. It's been a while. You've been really grinding it.
I've been a YouTuber for 4 years now,
4 years,
just
yeah.
blew up the third year.
Yeah. So I've got some questions that I think, as a viewer and kind of knowing Michael, what I think are some things that haven't really been talked about deep enough that the fans, or the followers, whatever you want to call them.
Gonna get into some juicy stuff y'all want to
Yeah,
dive
for
into.
sure, for sure. And we're kind of talking about doing this again, but like letting you guys ask these questions, but doing them on a deeper, you know, type of conversation.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, we can get right into it if you want.
Let's jump into it. Why not? Let's jump in. Feet first.
Okay. Yeah. So the first one I kind of wanted to ask you about that I feel like they probably don't know about is I know there's a lot of people, and I know you've done this in the past, but just give a
Right.
quick rundown of what the disabilities are. It's the elephant in the room.
So basically, I am legally blind. Now, a lot of people really don't understand what legally blind is. Basically, I have an eye disease named cone rod dystrophy. It's an incurable eye disease to where I have like these. So a person with 20/20 vision, say they have like these tiny little holes in the back of their eyeball. I have one big gaping hole in my center vision to where my center vision I can still see, I'm just not good at it. So if I'm looking at Dylan right now, my cousin, if I'm looking at him right now and I'm looking at him straight forward, he is blurry. If I look at him a little too with me facing this direction, he is a little more clear because I have better peripheral than my actual center vision. Now that basically sums up with the eye disease. Now I have a bone disorder named spondyloepimetaphyseal dysplasia. That is a
I
mouthful.
still don't say it. Forget it.
You
He's
did.
he's tried to do the
Nobody tries.
syllables. Yeah,
Nobody tries. Just in other words, I'm just one of them little people.
yeah,
I am probably one of the tallest little people that you will meet. I am actually at the borderline of not being a little person. I'm 4'9". If I was 4'10", they'd probably take away my little person card.
yeah. He probably would. Yeah. Which I mean, that's not you've done a great job over the years of still being. You really don't let the little person thing stop you from doing anything. You played
No.
basketball growing up. You
Yeah.
wrestled. You've always done karate. I
Yeah.
think you started doing karate maybe before I did. You're a little bit older. I started when I was
I did
4.
it. No, you were into it first, and then I got into it
Well, because
because I
you had
wanted to
that
be a
little
Ninja
period.
Turtle.
Yeah, you had that little period
I
where you
wanted
did
to.
it when you were younger, and then you kind of took a break to do those other sports, and then you came back.
Yeah, I took a break, and I really at that time I really followed my brother because he was doing all kinds of sports. So I jumped into sports, and really the only sport that I could really get into that didn't require me being able to see as well was like basketball.
Yeah,
So I jumped into basketball and then quit that because I didn't like to tuck in my jersey, and that's why I'm not in the NBA because
that's the one.
I could have went big.
Yeah, he could have.
But
Yeah, he
like
was pretty good, honestly.
they were all about that professionalism and like tucking in your shirt. No, I'm not about that life.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was tough at the post conferences too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you've always done a pretty good job of dealing with that. Obviously, the eyesight thing has been more of a problem throughout the years, and
Okay.
I know in the past when you were first, I guess, diagnosed with it, there was talks of like it could get worse as you get older, and so you're like what?
Yes.
You're like 50% blind. Is that what it is? I think is like the
So
metric
I have
for it.
I have 2200 vision. So anything that somebody with 20/20 vision, like if something's 20 feet away from you, you obviously see it as it's 20 feet away from you.
Yeah,
You see the details and everything. If something's 20 feet away from me, it damn near looks like it's 200 feet away from me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We've always read the signs for him at McDonald's so he can figure out what he's getting, which is some horse
Yeah.
crap because he always asks, but he always gets
I
chicken
always get the
tenders.
usual. I always get the usual.
Yeah,
So then that takes away the anxiety of like not having to pick what you want.
yeah. Forget trying something new.
Yeah, yeah, ain't
This
about that
guy.
life.
War never changes, man.
That's for the savages. I'm not that
Um,
savage.
the other thing that I was gonna kind of ask about in that is like, what was it like for you? Because that's kind of the history of it. I guess it's not. When did you first find out about the eye disease? Was that the same time as the bone disorder?
Oh
Because
my
the bone
goodness.
disorder
So
would have been from
basically,
birth.
yeah, the bone disorder. So it was really a toss up. They already knew that I had like some sort of bone disorder, but it took them years of research to finally be able to determine what I would be diagnosed. It
It's
took
pretty
them
rare.
like
It's pretty
12,
rare.
either 12 or 14 years. And it took the eye disease 12 to 14 years for them to actually find an eye doctor that could come in and actually diagnose what my problem was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember even my mom going with you and Angel to some of the trips, to the doctors that you were going to. You're going to some pretty high-end specialists there for a while. Um,
Yeah, I've had all my info, all my files sent over to California where they would do research, and then all the way back to North Carolina as where I'm from. Like it was a coin toss for them for years until they finally got the research and then finally got out really what I was.
what I was, yeah, yeah, a
Yeah.
little abomination looking at, looking like a little
I'm not a
goonie.
human.
Yeah, yeah, out here
You
looking
heard
for
it here
pirate
first.
treasure, alien looking.
Uh,
Nah, I mean, yeah, I think that that's pretty much what the answer that I would have given. You were, pretty early on. It was pretty obvious that something was going on. We just didn't really know what it was for a long time.
yeah.
Um,
And come to find out, actually, it was actually Dylan and his mom doing some research about my eye disease one day, just in his bedroom on the computer, doing some research, and they actually found out what it was before the doctors even did.
Yeah, I think that I will say that was mostly mom being a little intuitive while we were reading. I was just doing the googling, but
Yeah.
um I guess that really is the history. The other thing that I think, would be beneficial for some people to hear about, maybe beneficial for you to talk about even, is kind of
Right.
like, how do you feel? Because you're obviously doing great, and I know the beginnings of all of this. I know getting into the YouTube, because that's really where you started at, was YouTube,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you blew up on TikTok about 3 years later, in the summer or May, something like that, and kind of like how you think your disabilities helped you and hurt you mentally, even, whether it be anything. How did it hold you back, or how did it change your perspective on getting into something like this, or just your everyday life, your relationships? How did it affect you with your family, your friends? I personally, we've never really had, your family's been pretty supportive from, where I
Right.
stand with things. And, you know, friend wise, I'm sure that was different being in high school, you know, being a small
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, sure. Just talk about that a little bit.
So basically, I had like a lot of supportive people around me growing up, like always being accepted of me, always keeping me included, but like it was just me. For some reason, it was always me questioning, like, why was I even born this way? Like I'm so different from everybody else. Like it got me thinking about, like, okay, like getting like real deep, like who was gonna love somebody like me, like outside of my family. Like I said, I had the friends and the family that always backed me up and always supported me. They like enjoyed my company, always showed me love. But like it was me like stepping out of that comfort zone from the family and the friends and like reaching out to new people, like say if there was a girl or anything like that, if they would look at me different, it really affected my confidence.
Yeah. No,
So
I think
because
I
like
think it was a little deeper than that, honestly, man. Like, I feel
yeah,
like when you were growing up, like, you were super super sweet and kind in,
yeah,
like, your family relationship, and don't let him play with y'all. He was a homebody. This man liked to be around the family. But
exactly.
at the same time, I feel like there's different instances where, you know I can't really think of a good word for it. Like, maybe not made you aggressive, but like you were a little bit of a irritable child. People be staring at you and stuff out in
Yeah,
public,
it was
and
like, "What you looking at, brother?"
yeah, yeah. Well, and how things
Yeah,
have changed since then. I mean, back in the day, you were getting stared at for being little or just being different.
yeah, they would stare at me for different reasons, like, "Why is he so small?" or "Why is he so small and he's got big arms?" Like, it just don't
Oh yeah,
make
he's
any sense.
always been.
Or
You've been a total muscle since you were 4.
and a lot of people don't believe that. A
Yeah,
lot
he
of people think
was.
I'm lying.
No, he
A
was
lot of people think
huge.
I just work out all the
It
time.
was really crazy. Like, if I didn't know him all my life, I too would be like, "What in the world? There's no shot, dude." But yeah, no, he's been like that since day one. It's crazy,
Yeah, I don't work out or, like, watch what I eat or any of that 'cause it's just not fun to me.
bro. My man for a long time ate nothing but a frozen chicken sandwich every single day for lunch. This man,
And
oh
pizza.
oh yeah, and frozen pizzas. Yeah, yeah. Now you're on
Come to
that.
find out, to this day, I still do that.
Yeah. He ain't changed. Now he's added burritos to it, frozen burritos.
So I got pizza, I got chicken sandwiches, I got burritos, sometimes pizza rolls.
Yeah, no, he's
Especially
really he's on the variety
if
kick now.
anybody around the house really don't feel like cooking, I'm about to have a good day.
He is,
Let's
yeah.
just say that.
Yeah, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed.
Nothing.
Yeah, you're a
Nothing.
little less picky on it, but nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it was always cool growing up with you, man. I mean, me and Michael were really close growing up, I mean we like brothers, we always together,
Yeah.
and we had some moving far away from each other here's and there's for, family reasons
Yeah, we went
and
from
business.
being like next door neighbors to
Yeah.
living in different states.
Yeah, that's where we're at now. That's why we're doing this over the internet. Is we're
Exactly.
like a long distance relationship.
Yeah,
Like, it's beautiful.
I don't know, but it works because we stay communicating.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I talk to him all the
Yeah,
time. A little too much, honestly. Ever say,
yeah.
you know, now you got that girl in your life. You know, you forgot about me.
I didn't forget about
Don't
nothing.
forget where you came from.
Oh,
Um, how about before we kind of extrapolate more on the, you know, being a 4'9" legally blind guy and where you're at today, let's talk a little bit about the beginning of, you know, the smallest spark, where, you know, where, how did it start? I personally, I don't even really know. For me, it felt like it came out of nowhere one day, where one day he was Michael and he was trying to be whatever he felt like. You know, he went to college for a little bit, was doing like this physical therapy route, and you know, just some, you know, loans and stuff didn't really work out. And then just one day he was like, hey, I think I'm gonna try this, you know, this YouTube thing, you know, and
yeah.
yeah, how that started.
So that's a really good question. Actually, we're getting real deep.
Yeah, that's the whole
Even
point.
before that, it was all me like trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and like also like because at first, like we all know, like I wanted to be a WWE wrestler
He
at
did.
one point.
Yep.
But then I grew up and realized there's a thing called a homebody, which I am.
Yeah.
That never worked, like ever.
Yep.
And there was all the whole college thing, as you said, like going in trying to do the physical therapist assistant route. That didn't work out for me, and I tried to go to get like a general education. That didn't work out for me. So I was just I was lost. It's not like I could get into anything that like other people were doing, or if they're like doing like a office job or factory job. It just didn't seem like me.
Well,
So
and having a ride was also a problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously having a ride because I'm not walking. I
Hmm.
don't work out. So like no. So trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, and it just all like it all stemmed from the beginning. Like you said, we were watching like Ryan Higa on
Yeah.
YouTube. And I was like, I'd always watch people in my spare time. I was knee deep in YouTube, always on YouTube. Never got on anything else but YouTube. Didn't even watch TV, didn't do nothing besides watch YouTube. I was like,
Yeah.
man, these people are really living it up.
Yeah, and
These people are
he was always
standing out.
right on it too. This man,
These
you take a guy who can only see with his peripherals. My man is constantly like this.
Yeah, like my phone is right here and I'm over
Yeah.
here. I'm like sucked into it. I don't hear nothing.
He don't need
It's
it.
just me and YouTube.
I know. Try watching a video with him. I'm like, hey man, I want to see too. You know, back it up. You know.
And now we got Discord. We got screen sharing, so we
Yeah.
can
Yeah, we
yeah,
could watch it
there ain't no
together
argument.
in sync. Yeah, it's beautiful. God,
So I
technology.
would always see those YouTube people and I'd be like, "Man, they're really standing out." I was like, "Man, how could I stand out like that? Cuz I'm not like different like these other people." And then it hit me. I am different than these people. I got the eye problems. I got the little people problems, and I'm muscular. Like nobody sees stuff like that. Like Crucifix said in a video, there's a really little man with a really big voice making a
Yeah.
whole lot of noise. And like just to be such a little guy, like I got a big voice. I was like, I could stand out. I could be outspoken. I was like, why don't I try this YouTube thing? Why don't I try this video thing? So first it started Facebook. Facebook didn't really work out. So everything
Yeah.
deleted. And then we got onto the YouTube.
Yeah.
We got onto the YouTube and I was learning. I was learning about like just not getting in front of the camera and staying stationary, just talking to the camera and that be the whole video. It's just not like a documentary type thing or interview or just
He
talking
was a
to a person.
work, honestly. You know,
Yeah, it's a
he
work
was
in progress.
hard headed. He would come in with these ideas, and I would watch one of the there was a lot of drafts early on. You know,
Yeah.
you guys see like, oh, 2 3 videos from 4 years ago. Nah, man, there was a lot of videos from 3 4 years ago. There's a lot of videos. They're probably all deleted at this point. It's like that, you know, home video that your mother still has that you don't want anyone seeing ever
Yeah,
again.
it's like your very first, like, video that you put out where you're just like, "God, that's just nobody needs to see that.
Yeah.
Nobody'd be proud of that."
No, they don't. It was awful. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It actually was. And
Yeah.
now I finally this year, actually maybe last year, I finally got to the point where I didn't even need like a supervisor to check out what I'm doing now. I
No, he
finally
still
got to that
does.
point.
No, 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 no. He still no,
I know.
dude.
I finally give me this moment. I finally got to that point where I can work on my own 2 feet as long as there's nothing in front of me. He's still I'm lying. He's still got to look out where I'm going
There's,
because I can't see where I'm
you
going half
know,
the time.
it's on occasion now. You know, a lot of the time he will post something, and if you guys think it's cringy, I promise you, so do
He
I.
told me.
I tell him.
Like there's been a few videos that I've posted and he'd just call me and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"What are you
I would.
talking about?" He's like,
Yeah.
"You know what?"
I called him. I think it was today. I told him I was like, quit shaking your badonkadonk into the screen, man. It was bothering me. You know, I hate. I
He said, "You
start.
gotta stop over sexualizing
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. I'm like, what are you trying to market right
You're
now?
not him."
You're right about the Christmas hams. You're right about the Christmas hams, but
Yeah,
you
I was
got
blessed.
you gotta stop, man. You gotta
I
stop.
was blessed.
You're gonna end up being John Cena on camera again. You remember that? First you were the Bigfoot guy. Now you're this. Now they
Oh
think
God,
you're extra short, Kevin Hart. That's a plus, man. From where you started out at.
that's wild.
Yeah, you've grown. Not
Yeah,
you
they
haven't.
always,
You haven't grown. I meant the
yeah,
channel. Yeah,
yeah, you could have gave me that.
I
You could have
wasn't.
gave me.
I couldn't. I'm sorry.
He could. He could. All right, next question.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, like, kind of just to talk about that a little more from like just being on the side. Just talking with you about this stuff. We would have hours of conversations worth.
Yeah,
About these videos. And yeah, I definitely would say in the early portion there was a lot of like he was so new. Like he watched a lot of YouTube growing up, but I don't think that was kind of what he wanted to be as much back then because he didn't know where he wanted to go with his channel. Like some people start a
yeah,
YouTube channel and they're like, I'm a gaming channel. And so that's what they do, and they
yeah.
work on
I
that
still
until they
don't have a
perfect it.
specific niche
I
or
think you kind
niche.
of do now, like less with the YouTube channel and more with the TikTok, with the like sketch
Yeah,
comedy and stuff
yeah,
like
you're right.
that.
Yeah,
It's kind of like being a variety streamer versus being a League of Legends streamer. You're kind of like a variety entertainer, but there,
yeah,
it's a lot of sketch comedy and stuff, and it's good stuff. A lot of people like it. Obviously, 4 mil, that's crazy. Like,
yeah.
I
Either
remember
either
when
they
it was
like it or I got 4 million idiots.
what is it, that 310 or 301 or whatever on YouTube? I remember when that was like every video it was at that like stationary number, or even before that when it was just me watching the videos and maybe his
Yeah.
mom.
But even then, like it's crazy. Even then, when I would post a video and get those kind of numbers back then, before anybody even knew my name, to me it was still like, wow,
Oh
this is
yeah,
awesome.
for sure. You
I'm
were
touch-
super
I'm out here
enthusiastic.
touching lives.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing this.
Yeah, he was super enthusiastic about the whole thing. Like, I think you have to be like that to like gain any bit of success. And I was telling him back then too. I was like, it only takes one, buddy. It only takes
Yeah,
going viral one time or just blowing up once. You don't even have to go viral. You just gotta make it
yeah,
big one time, and
yeah,
you got it. You got it in you, kid. You got the spunk. You know, uh,
yeah,
and ultimately he did get it, but it did take 3 years, and there was no stopping him the whole time. I mean,
yeah. Because like basically, it's something somebody would have to be passionate about to keep staying that
for
consistent.
sure, for sure.
And I was like, it wasn't just about like getting known. Like I actually enjoyed putting out these videos and just kind of find out. Just a few years later, people started catching on,
Yeah, yeah.
finding out the name.
What was the one that blew up? Was it the you kicking yourself in the forehead?
Me kicking myself in the head.
It was you kicking yourself in the head. Yeah,
One of the ones that I thought that was actually blowing up was the one where I introduced myself. Cause
yeah,
I just came across TikTok and I know to as to become a social media influencer, you got to attack from all quadrants,
yeah, for
not
sure.
just one, not just one main. It's like
You don't get
It's
big
like
on YouTube
you don't-
without having a following first, basically.
exactly,
Not
exactly.
nowadays.
So I got on there and I was like, I didn't understand TikTok at all. I got on there and I looked up a couple of YouTube videos about following trends, so I tried that. I was like, man, this is stupid. This ain't me.
I thought it
So
was
I just got
awful.
on there one day. I got on there one day and I just introduced myself and told them I'm the 4'9" legally blind YouTuber. I wish you could have met sooner. Turned TikToker
Yeah,
that you should follow.
I hated that.
Yeah,
I hated
people
it.
loved it.
They did. I
People loved
hated it.
it.
I was
They did.
like, "What do you mean, turn TikToker? Where's the goal, man? You threw it all away." But I mean, he kept doing it. He just, he kind of
Yeah.
focused on the TikTok for it, which I think was probably a good move. Obviously, it's working out.
Yeah, you never know. You never
Yeah,
know. It
for
could be
sure.
one of those social media platforms, and it could be the certain target one is which is your main goal that you actually want to grow on. You
hmm
might end up blowing up on something else, and it's just how some things work.
On the note of blowing up, I think I'd like to hear more about your mindset in like the area of like what's the balance, man? Like, what's the balance of like one day you go from 300 views on average on YouTube to I think you got like what 2.8 mil in the span of a month or something on TikTok. How do you stay like out of the ego there? Like, how do you stay away from like I'm famous now type of mindset?
Pretty much the same thing I've always done. Like I'm still like we were talking about before.
hmm
How before all this I was watching YouTube. I was so knee deep into YouTube that I still look at people that I watch like a fan.
Yeah,
So I'm just one of those normal people. I'm just like you. I'm just like the other people the rest of watching.
yeah,
I'm just like all of you. I'm just one normal person that I just decided I found a passion and I just decided to run with it. And even before all the fame, I was doing it just because I love it. I wasn't doing it for like money or to grow some grow to become like a well-known name. I was just doing it because this is basically what I love to do.
yeah, for sure.
And pretty much that's how I do it. Like I don't neglect like family time or anything like that. I'm still that normal guy that just has a following. That's
Do
that's
you,
pretty much
do you think that growing up in a small town, do you think that like the values that like come along with that, or some of the lack of values that come along with that, like maybe shape that perspective as well? Like, do you still feel like just a small town kid who just happens to have a bigger set of numbers than other people do?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like it's funny you say that, like growing up in a small town, like going to places, like I had like before all the fame, like it would mess with my head a lot. I had a lot of people staring at me.
Yeah,
A lot of people staring at me for how I look, or I'd have people point. Sometimes I'd even walk by and like catch a picture like being flashed on me. I it really confused me, and then like as I
there were a lot of
it actually
altercations.
it actually helped me. Yeah, there was quite a few. We'll just skip
It's
past that.
a small town.
It was a small town, a lot of people staring at me. Pretty much when all like the fame happened, I walk now, and some people stare at me, and that's just because they're too scared to come up and say hey,
Yeah.
or maybe they don't even know who I am, or they're still staring like they did before,
I'm
and it
I'm
doesn't
sure there's
bother me
still
as much.
people who have no idea who you are, but
Oh yeah,
I can say I have witnessed, my family has witnessed, his family, his girlfriend, Garrett, we can all attest. I thought it was crazy the first time that we were with him and someone came up and recognized him and he wasn't even in his home state. I was like, dude, because in a small town you're like, somebody recognizing you, that could be Jerry's grandma from down the street that I saw at one
yeah,
Thanksgiving 4 years ago. I'm happy she's still doing good. But where he's at now, we're like on vacation, at the
yeah.
beach.
It's funny how you look at it because like you'll open up an app and you'll see like a big number, and they're like, wow, that's associated with me.
Yeah.
And you don't think nothing of it, like because like
I
TikTok,
still
like
don't, bro.
it had
You got 4 million followers, and I'm like, it's Michael. Yeah,
it
it's
hadn't
always
been
been
it
Michael.
hadn't even been around that long, and I'm over here
Yeah.
like, wow, this is a big number. Like you never know, like, and it was a new app.
Yeah.
Like, okay, these could be just be like a whole lot of bots that just want to keep me on the app for some reason, just gain money. So I'm over here, I'm like, wow, okay. I'm like, and then I go out in public, and I realize every time that I go out in public, somebody notices me. I'm like, wow, okay. After like the first 10 times going out in public, I was like, wow, this is real.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that was really an eye-opening moment for me for sure, was being with you the first time that somebody recognized you. And you
Yeah.
know, you being like, it's like these two boys and you being like, "Oh, you want to take a picture?" And they're like, "Yeah." And you're like, you know, I was like, "Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is real. That's crazy." Like,
Yeah, I dropped on one knee and they was walking out and they were like, what?
I'm sure that a lot of people who like don't grow up with a family member like in, you know, I kind of hate using the word fame because there's always like, you know, there's always someone
Yeah.
bigger, you know. It's like it
Oh, yeah.
feels weird to use the word fame, you know. It's not
There's
like,
some people that just can't go out in public at all without getting rioted.
yeah, I mean, it's not like you're Johnny Depp, you know. It's
Yeah.
you know, you still, you know, kind of back to the humble thing, but you know, it's kind of like I'm sure that like unless you're like, you know, like the Paul brothers, you know, they grew up like
Right.
in fame, you know, Vine, Disney, all this other stuff. And so they're
Yeah.
like probably more accustomed to it. Maybe I'm sure their parents still had some like, wow, I can't believe this is happening type of deal going on. But
Oh, yeah.
for us being small town kids, like, you know, my mindset has always been like, you know, go to school, get a job, work
Yeah.
until I'm 60, 70, play with stocks. So maybe I don't have to keep doing that. Maybe open a
Yeah.
business when I'm like 40. I don't know. You know, like there's a
Yeah.
lot to, yeah, I'm just winging it. Like I'm just living the
Yeah.
average life. And then, you know, Michael
Exactly.
over here is people walking up and being like, hey man, can I get a picture? I'm like, what for? What's up? You know?
Yeah, and it's funny, some people will come up and they don't even have the courage to get out, "Can I ask for a picture?"
I feel like sometimes
I
they
ha
just don't want to like be rude. Like I feel like I would think
Yeah.
that. Like if I was just
Yeah.
a, you know, like if I ran
Some
into
have said that,
someone,
and some just didn't know how to ask.
yeah, well, sure, yeah.
So usually, like, when I meet people, like, instead of them feeling that anxiety of getting it out and trying to ask me to take a picture with them, I ask them, "Would you like to take a picture with?"
Do you ever feel like maybe you kind of like maybe you pigeonhole 'em, maybe like on the inside they're like I didn't want a picture with that guy, but you asked and so they're like, oh, I gotta take a
No,
picture
I
with this
never
guy
got
now.
that. It's like,
You know, you never got that feeling.
no. That'd be funny. It's like, I
It'd
wonder
be
what they
awesome.
think of me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not famous. I don't know what goes through your head. You know.
Yeah.
Do you think of yourself as famous? Like, do you know? I know you used the
No.
word fame a couple of times. Do you think that you're famous or
I just think of the word fame because that's the only,
sure?
word I could think of at the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really consider myself as famous.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like
think it'd be fine if you did, you know. What even is
yeah,
like
but
the
when I
metric for
think of famous,
fame?
I think of, like, celebrity or, like, a
Same,
artist that, like,
same.
can't go to the grocery store or anything like that and just have, like, a normal day. They get rioted everywhere they go.
Do you think that the internet is becoming that? I feel like that sometimes that YouTube is like, I think Robert Downey Jr. talked about that at one point. It might have been on Joe Rogan or something, but he talked about how like you know the internet is becoming like the new version of fame, like you know even
Yeah.
bigger than Hollywood celebrities are in a sense, like people are following these people's
Yeah, and it's
lives.
it's crazy. You have a lot of Hollywood celebrities right now that are trying to get into, like, the YouTube scene
Yeah.
or that type of scene because I don't know, I don't know, they're tired of acting, they just wanna be themselves or whatever it may
Well, I
be.
mean, you know, things are changing too. You know, you got to
Yeah,
adapt if you want to. You know, I don't know. I'm not saying that they're losing their careers or anything. I'm just saying that you know, it's kind of like you were saying earlier. You gotta play every avenue, right? And the
right.
internet is an avenue. Like, what can you do as a celebrity, right? A real famous celebrity, like take Johnny Depp, you know, or any of those guys, for instance. What could they do outside of say having something that's as social and interactive with your audience, you know, as the internet is or YouTube, or that's why people have Twitters, you know, you can directly talk to someone. Like when would I have a chance to talk to Robert Downey Jr. outside of just adding him and hoping that he replies, you know, that kind
Yeah,
of thing, you
right.
know. Yeah, I feel like that's where it's going, you know.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, just how much people can actually just do from their phone now. And it's
Yeah.
crazy, like all the talent that you see.
Quarantine's definitely showed us that. There's a lot to do from your phone nowadays.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people actually blame quarantine for me blowing up. I actually blew up before the quarantine.
You did. That is true. Yeah, take that, everyone else. Yeah. Uh, yeah, whatever. This guy,
Yeah,
you got a little boost. Who you fooling? Who
just a
you
little,
kidding? Yeah, just
just a little.
you already had a couple million, but 4 million's pretty cool to have on the plaque, you know.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, and you're getting
That's
close
crazy.
to 100K on YouTube. Everybody, go follow my boy on his YouTube. TikTok's cool. YouTube pays more. Help a brother out.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
YouTube. That's my first love.
Well, and TikTok's good and all. I'm really happy that you did what you did and you've blown up and it's gone so well the way that it has. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the end goal has always been YouTube. Always.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because TikTok, I love TikTok. I love the people on TikTok, but you can't really express yourself that much within like a 15 to 30 to 60-second video,
Yeah.
like you can on YouTube.
Do
That's where I
you
started.
do you ever
That's where
feel like that plays into it? Do you feel like people have an easier time watching the TikToks because they're shorter?
Oh yeah, I feel like TikTok and any type of short form video app or software or anything like that, I feel like it is actually like messed with people's attention span.
Do you think it's messed with it or do you think it's capitalized? Like, I know my
I've
attention
probably
span ain't
capitalized
great.
'cause we are getting into
Yeah.
like a we are getting into a different era where like people really aren't just sitting through like a podcast or anything. They're
Yeah.
into that short form videos. Like get to the point. If it gives us value, it gives us value, but just get to the point so I'm not wasting my time.
I think there's a community for both personally. Like,
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's massive. He's massive. And his videos can
Yeah.
be 2 hours, 3 hours long at times, and people really love him. And some
Oh
people
yeah.
hate him, whatever you feel about Joe, I just find that he has some interesting guests on every now and again. So I'll, be up at 3 a.m. and end up on that side of YouTube. But
Yeah.
and then there's a couple other ones. Like I think Impulsive was doing pretty good for a while, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
could be wrong. I don't watch
It's
it.
it's still it's still doing pretty good. Like I feel like it's something like he's not like Logan Paul's not gonna stop doing.
I mean, good for
Like
him.
he even like he stopped his actual channel to just do his podcast. So it seems like the type of thing a lot of people are getting into.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that per se. I don't know. I would probably be better at just talking on a podcast than what you do. You have a very
Yeah.
like in case you guys are unaware, real life Michael and persona Michael on TikTok, they're about half and half. I mean, he's like an Arnold
Yeah,
Palmer.
about half and half. Like when I get on video and I realize like I could possibly make somebody laugh or inspire them or anything, I get excited.
Yeah.
Therefore, my energy busts through the roof. As on a normal day, I wake up and I hate life.
No, he doesn't.
I wake
Yeah.
up and I hate life in the morning. You got to give me like 30 minutes and then I'll be ready to love the rest of the world.
Yeah, he's always like been a pretty like easygoing. He's a better morning person than I am, that's for sure.
I don't know about all that.
Bro, you wake up at like 11 a.m. What do you mean? You ain't no morning person no more. You a midday person. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wake up when I want to.
Yeah, he
That makes
does.
me
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah, he
If
does.
I
He
woke
does.
up at like 8 or anything, like even going through school, I was like doing that like normal like 9 to 5 job, having to wake up that early. I was like, man, even in school I didn't do very well because like it's starting that early in the morning. Like what's school start at like 8 in the morning?
Yeah, I think we got there at like 7:30 or something most of the time.
7:30
Yeah.
class starts at 8 in the morning and I'm over here like, "Nah, I don't want to be here. I don't
I
want to
mean,
be
we,
anywhere."
we we went to different schools, but I know like especially once like I could start driving, I started getting there a lot later, and the bus
Yeah.
always came way too early, and I know yours did too. Like it was
Yeah.
like you'd be getting picked up like 2 hours before school.
Yeah.
But
Just
that's a
live
small town for you
that
because everybody
freedom.
lives so spread out. The buses have to like travel to go pick up people to bring to
Yeah.
school.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
we kind of we kind of rambled a bit there, but you know,
Pretty much.
we got off track from the
Pretty much you're
questions.
getting the raw,
Um,
uncut version of this.
yeah, yeah, we're not editing this. It's not. We might add some
No.
music to it, but we're not editing it.
So if we say something, then we said it. We screwed up.
Yeah. Let me ask. I guess kind of like you talked about how, you know, when you were making the decision to move towards being an influencer, entertainer, internet
Yeah.
star, whatever you want to call it. You know, it was kind of like, you know, you were doing all that, the PTA stuff and then general ed and all this other stuff. And then one day what was the span for that? Like, were you going through, like some people be like, oh, I was going through like a roller coaster of emotions, you know, thinking about it. I mulled over it for weeks. And then I finally came to the decision that this is what I was going to do. Or was this just like a boom, instantaneous? My man got online one day and had it.
It was not boom instantaneous getting online, my man. Like it was it was something because I was lost. Like a lot of people around me, friends, family, they're either at work, they're in college,
Yeah.
they already got a plan, they already got it figured out. I had no plan. I didn't have nothing figured out. I would, like I said, I would always be on YouTube, watching YouTube, and I was like, okay, these people are getting on YouTube and they're making a job out of this.
Well,
Like,
and
like
something to add to this, because I feel like not everyone will know. Like obviously the people who've been watching you for a long time will know because it's been kind of sprinkled in. But Michael is just blind enough that he can't get a driver's license, and so he is limited in, you know, if he did want to get a regular job, he'd have to find a way there. And you know, of course, there are things nowadays like Uber or Lyft or whatever, but then you're literally, I guess at the same time, the money that you would be using on gas normally you'd be using on that, but even
yeah.
still, it's not
Thank you
exactly
for adding that
great.
in, by the way, because that's very true.
Yeah, yeah, I think that that's something that a lot of people probably don't know, especially in your
And wonder
wider
about.
audience now. And yeah, a lot of people would probably hear you know, oh, you know, everybody's doing this and that and this and that, and not understand how constrained you really were. I mean, he was pretty much stuck being at home. How did you get to school when you were going to college?
I would have to figure out like I would try to reach out to friends to like see what time they usually got to school and see if they would have time to come pick me up and in return like pay them like
Yeah,
gas money.
kind of like you were doing Uber.
And yeah. So basically it was that and just trying back to what we were talking about, like you were saying, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah,
Like, because people are going to school, people are going to college, people are going off places to work, or they're already at work, got a plan, got it all figured out. For me, it was pretty much, it didn't even start out as like, this is like what I want to do, this is what I want to make a career out of. It was just like, okay, I'm home, everybody's got it figured out, I have nothing figured out. So basically, making videos for me at the time was like a therapy, like an outlet. And
yeah,
every time I would record, I was happy in that moment.
like a healthy
As
hobby.
for when the camera was off, I was like, wow, I still got to figure out what I want to do. I got family calling me like, hey, you got to figure out something. And
Yeah,
it,
that's
it was
true.
good for
That's
them to
true.
be on me. It was good for them to be on me like that. But I couldn't ever figure it out. Like the whole school thing wasn't me. Like no matter how much you teach me, I will still fail that test. Even though I'll know the subject, I'll still fail that test.
He had some bad
Um,
test anxiety.
very bad test anxiety, crying like the night before anything, and I just didn't want that in my life. So, uh, yeah, making the videos with friends, family, whatever it may be, whatever I recorded, that was like a therapy outlet, and I was like, wow, like I'm really happy when I do this. I was like, wow, I'm just gonna keep doing it as a hobby. And I tell people to this day, if you find something that you're passionate about that you continue to do, regardless however long it takes, like income can possibly follow it. So
Yeah, yeah.
I just kept on getting into that and getting into it, and then just out of nowhere.
I used to tell him all the time that you find something that you love, and a lot of people have that whole saying about if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I'm a little
Yes.
different with that. If you find something you love, do it, and if you can make some monetary gain off of it, well, all the better, you know. So,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's kind of how it used to be. Is like, I think from our perspective, a lot of us, you know, especially growing up with the whole mindset of you got to go to college and all this other stuff, which we've grown through over the years.
Yes.
But back then, I think it was, and you can talk about this a little more, but it was kind of hard for even me. I was trying to be supportive, but at the same time, I'm in that mindset of kind of like your kid getting into the NFL. It's like, how often does that come? And so for me,
Correct.
I saw it more as you participating in a hobby that you loved, and I supported that. And in my mind, it was kind of like, oh well, if he blows up, then he blows up, cool. But if he
Yeah.
doesn't, at least he's enjoying it.
Yeah.
You want to
Like I was
extrapolate on
saying,
that?
perfect question.
Yeah.
Because like having family, like wondering and worrying about what I'm gonna do with my life,
Yeah, it's
wondering
tough.
because they knew that I would be at home, and I can only imagine what was going through their head. Like, how is this affecting him?
Yeah.
Like being at home, like everybody else, like either is in a relationship, they got it figured out, they got a plan, they got a job to go to, they got a school to go to, they got something figured out, and I'm just here. I'm just here waiting for a phone call. You know what
I
I'm saying?
called them a lot. God, I called them a
He
lot.
called me a lot to make sure my mental was okay. My best friend Garrett would call me to make sure I was okay.
Yeah.
He would do his very best, but props to Garrett
Yeah,
for
we're
always
gonna
getting out
we're gonna get
and
there.
pick.
I promise. If we make it through these, we'll get to. I've got
And
some questions
we're
about
getting
that.
knee deep into this, so we're neck deep into it
Yeah,
now.
we are. Yeah.
But always trying to figure it out. Like it did not. What I wanted to do with my life did not happen. Like boom, just like that. I got online and figured it out, or it just didn't pop into my mind. Basically, I
Well,
had to
I
go
think
through the
what.
stress.
Yeah, I think what I'm asking is kind of like, how did that affect you in the sense of like, did that hurt your motivation at all? Like, because I know there was definitely times where there was at least twice where I called you and I was like, hey man, are you still thinking about going to school? Like, I know you're doing the
Yeah,
YouTube thing, but
yeah,
like, you know,
yeah, exactly.
how's that? It was three
I would get
years,
a call and I'd be like, man, he's calling me. I know he's about to ask. He's still gonna ask
Yeah.
because like he's like genuinely like concerned
Well, I
and
always
want
wanted there to be
wants
a
to make
plan
sure I'm
B,
okay. Yeah,
like,
just in case it wasn't to work out. I kept these people waiting for 3 years for results.
yeah. I mean, it
So
worked, you know?
just as consistent as I was in the videos, they was consistent about the phone calls, like figuring out if I want what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that it just came out of nowhere, and everybody was like, a sign of relief. He
Yeah.
finally got something.
Yeah, I mean, we're really proud of him that he stuck with it. And, we were all, I would say we were all very supportive, but at the same time, we were all, skeptical, really, and,
Yeah.
you
Like
know,
how often does this happen?
it's really hard to be a family member with something that is as risk taking like this. Like, being a musician or something would be in the same ball field, right?
Yeah.
And, just
And
thinking to yourself, like,
especially in the area that I
yeah,
am. Like
the
that's
small town
unheard of.
area. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it really
Yes.
is. Yeah. I mean, that is yeah, we're from the boonies, bro. Like the backwoods. Hey, back all woods.
We're from the hood.
Yeah, we ain't from the hood.
We're from the woods.
Yeah, we're from the woods. Yeah. Um, but yeah, you obviously brought it up, so we're gonna jump into it. I wanted
Yeah.
to really talk about, and I was really only looking for, us to really shoot for like an hour here. We're getting closer and closer to that. Here we're at 48 minutes now.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. And we can do this again, but
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about Garrett and really what kind of role he played, because I definitely know the shift from the videos before Garrett and the videos like after he became more a part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So Garrett has pretty much been in my life for about like 17 years now. We've
Yeah.
been friends for 17 years. It all started as me walking into a classroom. I had like this wrestling shirt on, and that was the way that we started talking to each other. And pretty much from there, we started like spending time together, hanging out together, and we was always doing like crazy things. Always doing crazy things, like always hanging out whenever we could. And like that friendship stemmed into something crazy. We were always trying to do like things together as like as much as we could.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty much the person that would go out of his way to come spend time with me or like come pick me up and take me somewhere to do something, so I just wasn't stuck around the house.
Yeah.
So,
That was especially
but,
true
uh,
in these more recent years when I'm
yeah,
out of state and we're so far apart now. It's like before that we would spend days and weeks together, but after
yeah,
that I used to worry about that, like,
yeah,
who's Michael's friend when I'm not around. And Garrett was there when you were younger, and then he went to college and was away as well. And
yeah.
when he came back, I was like, oh man, the Lord giveth, the Lord giveth, I tell you what.
Exactly. Because like I had gotten into the whole YouTube thing and I was like, I wonder how other people are gonna feel about this. Because like I just don't want to walk up to people that I know and be like, here's a camera, talk into it.
Yeah.
Just be that like obnoxious. So I was just I made sure to spend time with him one day and I was like, dude, like I started something. I started this YouTube channel. I started making videos, and the reason I did it was just like make memories. Cause you have those moments like, oh my God, I wish I would have got that on camera.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to get that on camera.
Yeah.
Always. And he was like, "Dude, that sounds freaking awesome." I was like, "So you want to like we're going to the beach. We were going to the beach at the time and I said like, let's record this. Like let's vlog it. Like let's get into this." He was like he stopped for a second. He was looking and then he was like,
He was like, wait, this guy meant
"Heck
it.
yeah, dude, let's freaking
Yeah.
do it." Cuz I was worried. I was like, "Man, if he really ain't into this, I'm just going to have to figure out how to do this on my own because like it was what I enjoyed to do, but you're not going to be able to get other people into it."
Well, and you started out
But
doing it by yourself mostly anyways. Like you'd have Wesley in
yes.
a video every now and again, or
Yeah.
Keith, or your dad or your
Yeah.
mom or whatever would be in it every now and
Yeah.
again. But as a
I'd either
whole,
have my brother, my or some family member in it,
that's why there's
and
so
we
many
just
videos
do
of the
videos.
dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dogs are just about as famous as I am.
Yeah. Do you still have all those karate videos up? Because I know
I've I've
you clean that out.
I've I've unlisted a lot.
Yeah, there was a
Unlisted a lot.
lot. Yeah.
Unless they were really cool, then I kept them.
Yeah. Well, and I was just kind of like, I guess I'm really interested in like how, because I know when Garrett kind of came back around again and where you were
Yeah.
at in the video creation cycle, mentally and everything, because I called you a lot.
Right.
And I guess I'm just kind of wondering like what kind of influence on you, like towards the video creation side of it. Like I guess your mental state, did Garrett play? Like did he show up and really just like, did it bolster the troops, man? The morale was high type of thing, or?
Oh my God. Like every time we get around each other, it's always high energy.
Yeah, he's got that
High
about him.
energy.
Yeah.
When we got into the videos, like I always had the energy going into a video.
Yeah.
But like when you get somebody around you that's like-minded and has that same energy and like you just build up off of each other, it makes something insane.
Which is
And
really funny because
that's
he's a
what we
super calm guy in real life.
yeah,
Yeah, he's so calm.
real calm and then gets around me and I mess all that up.
Yeah, he's really zen. He's a really zen guy. You talk to Garrett and it's so calm, and like, it's he is like,
But when
he
it
can.
gets around me, it's just
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, you guys are, it's like cannon fire, nah,
Unless
Garrett's a great
someone
guy.
cuts unless someone cuts him off
Yeah.
on the highway,
Yeah,
then
now
he's
he's
calm.
gone. Yeah, never seen that guy more angry. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Garrett is a really great guy. We love him to death. He's family.
Yeah.
Really easy guy to talk to. Really supportive
Oh yeah.
guy.
Awesome.
Yeah, he is, man. Big nasty. So, hey, shout out to the big nasty.
The big
Um,
neck.
yeah, I guess we'll talk to kind of in that same vein. Meeting Emily, and I know you guys have done in your Q&A how you guys met, so we won't really
Yeah.
get too deep into that. You can give a quick like,
TikTok is how we met, y'all.
yeah, yeah, yes it is. And how did she, change things for you?
Man, how she changed things for me was like, as I said before, like I was worried about like stepping out of the comfort zone and being around my family and friends so much to where I was like, man, how would I even approach a girl? And
Yeah.
then like get all into the, by the way, I'm blind. How does that work? How do you do that?
By the way, I'm almost 5 foot.
Yeah, yeah. Like how is that a turn on for anybody
Hey,
actually?
there's people out there,
So,
baby.
I get- I was like, man, how is this ever gonna work? And like, I had my trial and errors, like with girls, and just out of nowhere, this girl, Emily, found me on TikTok before I actually blew up and decided to message me because she was going through a really hard time. She had just lost her grandfather. And she was just trying to find comfort, trying to find answers. So she starts messaging me, and it was back when I was getting like 1,000 messages a day, and just so happened she was at the very top. I was like, I just want to go through these and look at them. And I looked at this message. I was like, well, this girl, like, she needs like comfort. Like she's looking for something. She don't know what it is. So
Neither
I
did you,
started
bro.
talking to her. Neither did I.
No,
Neither
he
did
had
I.
no answers.
So I started talking to her, and like from then to this day, since March 10th of 2020, we have not went a day without talking.
Yeah, she's really great, man. I mean, she like really jumps into the family like pretty
Oh
easily,
yeah.
and
And everybody loves her.
no, she's
Nobody
a
has
great
yet to
girl,
say
man.
anything about her.
Yeah, she like one thing I give her big props for is she lives a couple states over and she goes to
She
school. She's
drives to see
doing
me.
some, nursing stuff and she'll drive to see him like on a pretty regular basis.
Like
Like,
it's a 7 hour drive, and she drives to see little old me.
yeah. That's how I used to
That's
feel with my fiance is when I was living, up in Virginia, she would drive that 8-hour drive for her breaks through university to come and see me. And
yeah.
yeah, I mean, that was really like the same thing with
Got
Emily. It's just,
soldiers on our sides.
yeah, man, soldiers for real. Like, because I know when I was in that situation, I was very, very, I was in a lost state, living out there in that other state and everything. And not just because of her, but because of work and all these other things.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any, I didn't have a disability or anything like that to stop me. And I still was, lost, so I feel like that's
Right.
something everybody just kind of goes through. But yeah,
Oh
when
yeah,
I
everybody.
see when I
That.
see how she how supportive she is and how much she puts into it, I definitely respect that, bro. Like for
Yeah,
sure, some
she's
soldiers.
an actual soldier from like being somebody who's like has crazy anxiety to the point that she has a heart condition from it. Like her heart, she has an irregular heartbeat. It beats like twice as fast as ours do. To be the type of person to have like such a fear of like embarrassment and to like step out that comfort zone of just like not being seen onto a camera because she wasn't the type to actually like be on camera. And now that she's gotten into it, I believe like she does a awesome job
Yeah,
at it.
she does. Yeah, she's really like
Like,
taking up the mantle here with like just kind of jumping into it. It's like very plug and play for her. She,
yeah,
she was a little awkward at first, and now she's just getting on there and doing her thing, man.
yeah,
Like, yeah, she's got her
yeah.
persona
I've
too.
always told her like she's one of them people that I've always been like afraid to like be herself,
Yeah,
like even around family.
yeah,
And I got to witness like who she was, like high energy and all that. 'Cause she was always afraid of like people thinking like she'd be weird if she showed her too much of herself. And I was
yeah.
like, this is awesome. If you put this on camera, you're gonna be more famous than me.
That's Michael for you. Um,
Yeah,
okay, we don't have too much time left. We got really about 2 minutes, but I don't mind
that's
going
pretty good right
completely
there.
over. I do want to ask a couple more things real quick,
All right.
and if you want to talk about this another time or something, I don't know how often you want to do this, or if you even want to do it again, we'll figure it out. But
No, this is
we haven't talked that
fun.
far.
We'll definitely have to do this.
It's just something different,
Yeah, I like this.
So I guess we asked the Garrett thing. Yeah, a crucifix. Let's talk about that real quick
All right.
because I will say you have always been Crucifix's number one fan. If there's someone
Yeah.
out there, hang on, if there's someone out there who thinks that they're more of a fan of Crucifix than this kid is, dog, don't die on that hill.
No.
Back to what we were doing.
So, pretty much I've been a fan of him ever since like 2012,
How'd you find
2013.
him? I'm not gonna lie. You know me. I'm
So,
really into the music. I've never heard of the guy until
yeah,
you many years ago.
I was into always listening to music, and my brother would introduce me to other kinds of music. And Crucifix had actually did a feature on one of the songs that my brother had showed me, and I was like, "Who is this dude? his voice is crazy.
Leave it to Wesley to find some underground stuff.
How his delivery and stuff, but Wesley never even thought about the feature. I was like, who is that? I want to know who that is, because that ain't the other people
Yeah.
whose actual song it is. I was
Yeah.
like, so I did some research, and I was like, man, this dude got a whole album.
Yeah.
I was like, I listened to every single from front to back. I listened to it right then. Had it on repeat. We're not going to talk about the unhealthy amount of times that I had it on repeat.
It was awful.
It was
Yo,
crazy. Like, I was
Crucifix,
showing other
dog.
people, even if they didn't get into it, I was like, it don't matter. I love it. Watch your
Yeah,
mouth.
he did. He did.
So I
I've
got
witnessed
into
that.
it, and I was like, man, I don't understand like how he's not bigger. I found him on YouTube, and then I found him on Facebook, and I sent that man a friend request.
Yeah.
Sent that man a friend request, and he accepted it. And like anytime that he would put out a post, I would do like I would comment on it. And then the first time he responded, I was like, this ain't real. And we'd have like little conversations in the comments. And that continued from 2013 all the way to 2020
Yeah.
to
I thought he was
2020,
crazy. I'm not gonna
where
lie.
he decided to come call me
Yeah.
and come pick me up, take me to a cabin in the woods to meet his wife and 3 kids.
Now, for
He
all
has
you
6
city
kids.
folk, Cabin in the Woods is a vacation for us, not a horror movie.
Yeah, it was a vacation for us.
Yeah. I did. I thought
And
he was crazy, man. Whenever you first, like, I thought you were crazy at first because, you know, I get it, you know, it's your favorite rapper and whatnot, but he'd message me and be like, bro, this guy's messaging me back. I'd be like, bullcrap he is. And then, you know, you won, what was it? You won like a contest or something and he came and picked you up? I can't remember what happened.
I won a contest. So the contest was he was putting out this album, and he's one of them people that puts so much back into the audience. Like he tries to interact and give so much back to the audience as he can to like show his gratitude.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much this. He was sending out like this ammo box, and it had like
Yeah,
a
I
whole
remember
bunch of
that.
stuff inside it. And like if you, he was like, if you do your best unboxing video, you can win this contest. We're gonna like randomly draft you. We're gonna watch them all, and we're gonna decide a winner. And I did it. I was like, I was like, man, I've been doing YouTube for I don't know how long, bro. I'm about to win this.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah, he
And
did.
I pooped.
He did. He pooped, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then that day, like randomly, this is what's crazy. And he still feels like such an a-hole for this. But like I had won the contest like a year ago. And then a year later, he decides to call me and come pick me up.
And that was because of quarantine or something, wasn't it? Like everything all kind of
quarantine.
fell at such a bad time. So,
Yeah.
you know, Crucifix, you know, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're
It's
good.
cool.
You
Yeah.
gotta worry about
It's not a problem, you know. Yeah, man, I mean, I remember, you know, the original Crucifix standing that you had going on, and then,
Yeah.
I remember, you know, you winning the contest and how hyped he was about that. I remember the first few messages that you ever got back, you know, and, I especially remember when the whole cabin thing happened. My boy was losing his mind, and, now you guys have seen the first part tomorrow, right? The drop for, is that tomorrow? The second part?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You're right.
Hey, that's what's up. Let's go.
Let's go.
But for you guys, it'll probably be, I don't know when this is going to get uploaded, so it'll probably be like...
So that video actually comes out tomorrow. By the time this comes out, probably be a week, 2 weeks
Well,
from now.
you know, it depends, yeah. Yeah, it depends
We're late.
if you're going to do it on schedule, because this is more of like a free-form thing than like a true YouTube video, but that's up to you if you want to use it as content.
So it depends what the date is now. Today is October 14th, my birthday.
It is his birthday,
And
yep.
by the time you're getting that video that we were just talking about, that'll be up October 15th.
I love how, since we had the conversation of happy birthday before we started this, we completely forgot to say it was your birthday at the beginning.
I know.
That is awesome.
I'm gonna do like that Ray William Johnson part and be like, I make a video and be like, it's my birthday.
It's my
After
birthday
everything that I say, by the way, it's my birthday.
Yeah, it's like a period. Yeah, maybe we'll have maybe we'll talk Crucifix into having a little conversation with us on here one of these days. Would love to get to know the guy. Really appreciate what he's done for you so far. And yeah, I'm sure he you know, I'm sure you guys are gonna have a great future of chilling But yeah, we'll
Oh yeah. Already talking about going down to Florida where he is
Oh
now
yeah? Okay, that's
and
what's
like
up, man.
chilling.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, hopefully we can get the guy on here or something. I'd love to talk to him, get to know him a little bit. Us background people don't really get to meet the on-screen people too awful much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, but yeah, outside of that, happy birthday, man.
I
Um,
appreciate that. It's my birthday.
it's been an hour and almost 5 minutes now. If
That's
you
awesome.
you maybe wanna you got anything else you want to talk about? Maybe you want to give a closing statement, whatever, man.
Probably much. This has just been a deep dive into my life. Some of the like deepest and darkest part that you probably didn't know
Yeah,
that you
you
wanted
didn't
to
want to
know
know
about
about.
my life,
Yeah.
but you're here anyway.
Yeah, sure. Let's do this. Let's do a quick you wouldn't happen to have Crucifix's app, would you? Or Emily,
Yeah.
give a little shout out for your
Give a little
supporters.
shout out to Crucifix. At Crucifix, just type in Crucifix. He should be the top result on YouTube. And Emmy Bear, you could just follow her, Emmy Bear 1005 on TikTok.
So
Or
Garrett's got one, doesn't he?
Garrett, he's still trying to figure out like what he wants to like name his.
Okay, well we'll talk about that
So,
another time then. The
so
big nasty,
as
y'all
soon as
people know
that
where to
gets
find
up,
him.
it'll be on there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Yeah, I think this was good. We had a little. Obviously this is the most budget version of an
Exactly.
interview you're ever gonna get.
It's the
Um,
most real.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I feel like these
It's never
conversations
been
are always
more real.
cool. But yeah, I feel like we had a good conversation. I feel like your fans are gonna learn a lot about you, and maybe they learned a little bit about me. Hi, first introduction.
Hi.
Yeah, you guys have actually seen my father more than, and
Yeah, you've actually seen his dad more
yeah,
than
they've probably seen
brother.
my entire rest of the family. Yeah, I tend to not be. There's a lot of we're all very spread out, and so I'm not always
Yeah.
around when things are going on. So when I am around, we tend to
Yeah.
spend more time just
Like
us.
I'm all the way in North Carolina. His family was in South Carolina at one point, and
Yeah,
he was all the way in Virginia at one point.
yeah.
So yeah,
It's been
always
crazy,
like
man.
spread out.
Yeah, it has. It's been really crazy. We've been slowly getting closer together as the years have gone on, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's really crazy going from next door neighbors to living 20 minutes away to this whole ordeal. But we're
Yeah.
making it work.
That's crazy. Next door neighbors to living 30 minutes away to
Yeah,
living 3 hours away to different states.
yeah. Well, all right, man.
Insane.
I think we did a good one here. I think this was good. I
Yeah.
think we'll have to talk about doing this again. Maybe get Garrett on here. Maybe
Fire.
yeah, we'll get Emily. Maybe get Crucifix.
Garrett,
Maybe
Emily, Crucifix, anything.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that that are in your life because I think that's kind of how this is. This isn't really like a formal podcast or anything. We're not trying to
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I was joking around with the Michael on the mic thing at the beginning. But yeah, I think we'll talk about it. Yeah, just get back to
Yeah.
me.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
So this has just been an interview.
yeah. We'll
Are
we'll
yours truly?
we'll
Well,
think of a closing some other time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Signing
Please
off.
subscribe.
Hasta la pasta. I'm about to hit the stop recording button. See ya on the flip.
I love you.
I love you too, bro.
I
Peace.
was talking to them.
I know. I right out the air, baby. That right in the pocket. Hey. Say happy birthday
that
in the
up.
comments if you made it this
Yeah.
far, especially.
My birthday.
Yeah, if you made it far enough to find out that it was this dude's birthday whenever we did this, comment happy birthday
Yeah.
because zero
Yeah.
shot that anyone made
yeah.
it that far.
If you clicked off before you got to the announcement where it was my birthday, I hate you.
Whoa. It's not good PR. It's not good PR. This is one of those things we were talking about before.
No, I hate it.
Later,
I
guys.
hate it.
3,
I
2,
hate 'em.
1.